All right, so are you somebody who struggles with feel? You know, that thing that you've been working on for years. You hear other bass players, they sound a certain way. They got this certain thing about their sound. Maybe you're somebody who believes the myth that you're either born with it or you're not. Well, in today's video, I want to address that, and I want to show you some practical tips and some things that you can do on developing your feel, how to get better, how to get stronger, how to get more confident on the bass. And I'm going to give you 3 practical tips and some things you can use, so hopefully by the end of this video you'll be on your way to playing really strong and having a really good feel. So let's jump right into it. All right, so let's get right into this thing. So I don't want to waste any time on this. And again, I want to address the myth that, I've heard this for years being a bass teacher, that people believe that either you have feel or you don't have feel. It's something that can't be learned. So getting into that, we're going to focus on for the number 1 point, we're going to focus on things like your note values, understanding 3 note values. We'll focus and dig in on just 3 today. I'm not going to teach you how to read music and all that in this particular video, but I do want to teach you some fundamental things that you will use in better developing your feel and being aware. All right, so for this, I'm going to be using a bass jam track that's here on YouTube. I will link it in this video so you can go back, use that in your own practice time. With this particular jam track, I'll play a little bit of it here. All right, so this is in the key of G major, and if some of you guys are hearing that, because I have some people that hear tracks like this and they're confused about the key, it's built off the 2. The groove is built off the like that 2, 3 to the 6. So we're going to be using this. I was going to use like just a regular drum beat and a metronome or something like that, but I'm like, nah, this can be taught better, in my opinion, in the real context of music, and something that, because you're going to be playing all types of different music. So I got something like, this just is a random groove, and it's one of those things we can go back between swing and straight in terms of the feel and being aware of what we're playing. All right, so let's jump right into it. So focusing on 3 note values, this is what we're doing. We're going to focus on the quarter notes, the 8th notes, and the 16th notes. All right, so we just in case, I'm just doing a quick rundown for you guys that might not be familiar with the different note values. Again, really simple. There's 4 quarters and a dollar, right? And if you already know this stuff, bear with me real quick, or you can skip ahead a couple of seconds. But 4 quarters and a dollar, like, so the same thing with the measure of music. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our quarter notes. 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3 to the 3 to the 6, right? And so if we were just playing quarter notes, that's what we would play. But if we were playing 8th notes, we'll subdivide that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Right? We're playing 8th notes right there on that same groove. So the notes that I'm playing are moving around this backing track that we're about to play too, right? And so the 16th notes would be double that, or subdividing that. 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E. Like that, being a little bit slower. And a 3E and a 4E and so it's going to be important that if you're not familiar with those syllables, I'm going to say it one time. You can go back and rewind this video. Let me say this really quick while we're doing this, because I don't want to drag it out. But any of these concepts that we're talking about, you're going to have to review them. Now, here's the thing about the myth of you either have it or you don't. It comes down to exposure. Some people think it's only culture. Well, this group of people naturally have a feel, or it's kind of like the South Park joke, the black guy, hey, you can play the bass because you're black. It's like, no, it's not just automatic just because you're a certain color. It's because of the exposure. So what I'm attempting to replicate in this video is exposure, so you can go back and listen to this over and over and over again, and being involved or engulfed in that, for lack of better words, in that culture of music, or in that style of thing, that you know what you're listening for. For us who grew up in the church and we just heard feel, and we just heard stomping and clapping, and we just heard rhythm all the time around us, and it was just like in us. So when you pick up an instrument, it seemed a little bit more natural. So that's why you feel like some people have that natural gift. It's simply because they've been exposed to it their entire life. They've been around it. So what you need to do on this video, go back and listen over and over and over again to the concepts that I'm talking about, and then go and apply what you're hearing according to the concepts that you're hearing in this video. It's something that you will get, not you might. It's something that you will get if you do these things. All right, moving on. So the 16th notes, the syllables: 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and let's just do it on one note so you know what I'm talking about. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and go back and study that so you remember what that is. Okay, so that's the 16th notes. So now what we want to do is being able to divide those different note values depending on what we want to play. So I'm going to play through this groove using quarter notes. Make sure you're recognizing what I'm playing. 2, 3, 4. Let me back up a little bit to get into it. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 2. Right now I'm playing quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So I want to do that same thing again, and I'm going to play eighth notes. I'm just making sure you recognize what I'm playing. Eighth notes. Okay, so now I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to play 16th notes. Right? So those were the 16th notes. Why is that important? Why am I talking about all the different note values? Well, the point of knowing and understanding the note values, now we know what we can add and take away from. Instead of guessing at it, instead of like, okay, I think I can do this. Now when I want to pull from either one of those note values, so right here, if I want to start mixing and matching them, first and foremost, I want to make sure that I'm lining those notes up on the grid. And when I mean the grid, I'm talking about that beat. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, being aware of all those different note values, I can go in between either one. And the thing I'm trying to do is making sure I'm staying on top of the grid with it. So I'll mix and match them here. So now what's happening now, I am mixing and matching and I'm moving a little bit more, but the rhythm is not just staying on the downbeat every single time, meaning staying on it. I'm moving. 1 E and the 2 E and get that, and here's another way that you can kind of think about that. I'm getting ahead of myself, but when you think of the Rocky Balboa theme song, da 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 da, we all have heard. Hopefully, most of you guys have heard that. I'm not talking about the melody. I'm talking about the rhythm of what we're hearing. Da 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 da. All of those different rhythms. So what I want you to start doing is keying in on the different types of rhythms that you hear in melody, not so much focusing on the melody. So let's put it in the context of the group. So I'm going to take elements of the rhythm that I heard from the Rocky, and I'm going to put it into this groove. So let's see how we can do that. And I know what you're saying. Man, what this got to do with feel? Every single thing. It got everything to do with feel. Here's why. If you can hear these different things, these different rhythms, because your feel is about your rhythm, your timing of how you're landing and making everything feel as it should. But if you're not aware of what you're doing with your right hand, not just playing the right notes with your left hand and just kind of allowing your right hand to just, be there almost in autopilot, you're being very intentional with what you're doing. And that's rushing me to my third point. All right, so let's go to the second point where I'm talking about being able to recognize swing versus straight. So on this particular groove, it's 1 E ender, 2 E ender, 3 E ender, 4 E ender. Like when you think about the Rocky thing where I'm talking about that's more straight. It's more straight feel. But if we were it got more of a swing. And when I'm talking about swing in this regard, I'm not talking about like jazz swing. It's the same type of rhythm, but slightly different in as far as what we're talking about in the context, right? So being able to recognize the difference between that and being very intentional in your right hand, because your right hand is going to make up majority of the difference, if not like 90% of the difference of your feel. Being able to be aware of those different rhythms that you're hearing and locking in to those rhythms, like almost like superimposing in your practice time, superimposing those different rhythms. Don't get confused and start playing the melody of Rocky, that little running up song. But you want to think about the different rhythms that you're hearing and try to attempt those rhythms, because if not, you'll be stuck in the, it'll be very mechanical. Here's why I'm mentioning Rocky or any theme song or anything that you already have locked in your head. See, what we want to do is we want to pull from the things that we already have available to us. Some people speed past all of this music that we've heard, these songs that have been stuck in our head and that we've forgotten over time. Don't speed past that. Use that, pull from it, that creativity of listening and pulling from these things that you already have in your head, locked in your mind. Try to superimpose those rhythms over different things that you're playing. It's like, this song feels straight. Okay, does this this song from this TV show, the rhythm of the melody, does that fit this particular groove? I don't know. Let's try it. The random Family Guy, dum dum dum, ba da ba da, da 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 da. Like, does that fit what we're playing here? Like, if I play this, ba 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 ba. No, that doesn't, for me, that doesn't fit. Why? Because that's swing, and it's almost too swing for this particular groove. But if I do, Eye of the Tiger, So if I put that rhythm over this, how does that feel? See, we don't have to sing the notes, we just sing the rhythm. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put all of it together. Give me a second. So if we're taking that same rhythm and putting it over the groove, and we're playing in accordance with that same groove. So let's do it with that same rhythm, but we're gonna move over the 2, 3, 6 turnaround that we're doing here. So here it is. 2, 3, 4, 1. So now you see how it's starting to work together. So we're taking these things, we're taking them and we're putting them together, and we're just trying to mesh it together and see. So now what I want to start doing is having fun with it in terms of moving around with this groove. So now if I'm going and notice the little in between things, I'm gonna do that with my right hand to fill in those blanks. Done. And somebody comment below what note value is that I'm playing in between. The in between notes, I want to see how well you're listening. Let me know in the comments what note value that is. All right. So you can comment like the main groove is this note value, but the ghost notes in between are this note value. That's the type of thing that I'm looking for in the comments. All right. So I want to play with this and move around that bass line and make it more musical now. And then what I'm focusing on is the feel of how it's laying right there in the groove. All right. So here we go again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let me explain what I'm doing there. I'm just playing around with my octaves and fifths, still using that Eye of the Tiger rhythm. I'm not thinking anything about the Eye of the Tiger, by the way, that song. I'm just only borrowing the rhythm of the song just to give me some stuff. See, here's the thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can take things that are already there, and this is how practice stops being boring. Okay, we're applying concepts of things that we've already know is already in our head. We already know. You probably never tried to attempt that on bass. You can turn that into an exercise, you know, putting your own notes to it and that type of thing. And so here, that's the concept that I'm trying to discuss with you guys in this particular video. Let me hurry up and move on so we can get out of this. Hopefully, if you're getting something, well, hopefully you're getting something from this, but let me know in the comments that you're actually learning something from this concept. I know it's somewhat different, but what you've been working on already hadn't worked, so might as well try something different, right? All right, so be intentional. Here's the number 3. Be intentional about locking in, and hopefully you guys got that understanding of the swing versus straight. If not, I got some other videos where I talk about that, so I don't want to spend too much time there. But be intentional about locking into the groove. So in everything that we're doing, we're trying to be very, very intentional to lock right in. What are we locking into? Now, I'm going to be listening in this backing track. I'm going to be listening always to drum and percussive elements. Anything that has a steady rhythm. It's almost like in your own practice time where you're listening to like the metronome and subdividing and all that type of stuff. We're subdividing all these different note values that we talked about before. It's like you learn this stuff and then you forget the technicality of it, but you remember the mechanical part, what you were doing, and then you get away from the mechanical and try to make it human. Did that make sense? We learn the technical, memorize the mechanical, and then we humanize everything that we're doing. For my beat makers out there and you guys make tracks and that kind of thing, I think some of the functions on, like, people can quantize, and that just lines everything on the grid. That means make a beat perfect. So if you got dot, 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 if we quantize that, it's gonna make it like it's gonna be like right on the money, right on the grid. So when we humanize it, it makes it a little bit more human, where it doesn't feel as perfect. It doesn't feel like somebody pre-recorded something. It's like you can hear slight little variations in the timing, but we don't want too much variation in the timing. We want to be right on top of that groove and locking right into the groove, but we don't want it to feel robotic or too mechanical, if that makes sense. So here's what I mean. So playing this rhythm, so let me demonstrate the difference between having good feel versus not having good feel. All right. So I want you to be able to hear it clear. Here it is. Bad feel. Let me simplify it. This is hard. So what are you noticing about that? I don't want to tell you, but what are you noticing? Let me know in the comments. In the first demonstration, what are some of the things that's standing out to you as you're listening? As a musician, what's standing out to you? Is it feeling rushed? Is it feeling behind? Is it feeling like, you tell me in the comments what you're noticing. All right, and so here's what will be my example of good feel right here. Right? And so obviously that one had a little bit more movement, because once it feels good, you want to move a little bit more. So those are some of the things that I'm talking about with bad feel, so to speak, versus good feel. And so drop something in the comments and let me know the difference of what you're hearing. I don't want to just say everything. I want to make sure your ears are actually working and you can hear the difference between the good and bad feel. Now, how do we improve that? Being very intentional in listening. All right. So as you assess the first one that I played, make a note of everything that was wrong with the first example. All right. And so now when you listen to the second example, make a note of everything that was right or everything that improved. And so now as you're assessing mine, when you play, do that same thing. So a good way to do that and a good way to improve that, in addition to everything that we've talked about right here, start recording yourself. Right? If you have a way of recording yourself, if you don't have any DAW, any recording equipment, anything like that, use your phone. I mean, these phones can record anything. Play through an amp or play through something that's amplified where you can clearly hear what you're doing. Play one take, listen back to it, write down what you're noticing. Do a T-chart. Good versus bad. Like what feels good, what feels bad. Write down the things that feel good on the left. Write down the things that feel bad on the right. And so do that same thing over again, paying attention to those things that you liked and doing more of those, but then also being aware of the things you didn't like and trying to improve those, being very intentional about improving on the next go around, and then compare the two recordings. And you can do this all day long and just you hone in, okay, that felt a little rushed right there. When I went to that three felt a little, when I went to that 6, it's like that 6 was behind a little bit. It looks like I could have moved a little. All those different things, you become your own person. And even if you're not there yet, because I know we're all at different levels, if you're not there yet, have somebody you trust to give you some feedback. It can be somebody that plays at your church that you trust, has really good feel, has a really good sense of what's going on. Send it to them. Let them hear it. Don't be too embarrassed to get the feedback from somebody you know. Hey, what are you hearing in my playing? They might say, man, it's like it's missing something. Can you be more specific? It's like it's not enough movement. Maybe you're rushing when you're going to your notes. Maybe it feels like it didn't have any energy. And take that. Don't get offended. Take it. Put that on your T-chart. And as you're playing through the song again, keep improving it and seeing what it feels like versus what it was sounding like before. All right, so hopefully all of these things that I've told you in this video, I know this was somewhat in-depth, but that's the point of it. I want you to get it. I want you to grasp it. And if this is helpful to you, be sure and share this with somebody. And let me know in the comments, again, if you found this helpful. If you want more stuff like this, be sure to subscribe. Turn on my bell notifications. If you haven't did that already, I'm going to be bringing you way more content like this. And be sure to tune in for our Jam With Me sessions that I've been doing, where we're kind of going through these tracks, and we're doing somewhat like this, but it's less teachy than this particular video. We're doing more playing together and we're shared, for lack of better words. I want you guys to join in with me there. And what we're basically doing in those sessions is ear training. You being able to train your ear. That's my emphasis with these lessons, being able to equip you to develop your ear so you can play and you can unlock your own sound. If you want more from me, more content from me, I have paid courses on my site, JermaineMorgan.net. You can go visit and find out all the things I have there. Mostly an emphasis on gospel music, like gospel quartet, congregational songs, shout music, a ton of stuff. Riffs and licks, if you want to learn a lot more licks and that type of stuff. How to move around, not to play like me, but to get more ideas on how to move around for your own stuff. And if you're interested in all that kind of stuff, it's on JermaineMorgan.net. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in with me today. And I will see y'all on the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.